I know that I will get comments if we don't at least spend a minute on how can we leverage AI to make this all easier.
Yeah, and it's a great point, and I think we should all be there. In fact, one of the things that I've been doing recently is going into organizations and just let me look at your marketing and let's figure out how we can get AI, across the organization. It starts with everybody doing a little bit, right? Everybody needs to get their hands into AI and figure out how they can use it. And so that messaging platform, that messaging framework that I talked about becomes essential when you're talking about AI. Because in that messaging framework, you're going to think about not just the words that you're going to use, but what the tone of voice is. And so we think about tone of voice or tone and voice as being the personality and the mood that you set with your language. When you take that to AI, and this goes for images as well now too. It is really useful for marketing, but you can take the way that you have laid out your tone of voice and how you define it. So all of the ways that you define your marketing, you can now put that into your AI tool, and it will give you 1,000 different ways that sound like you. And that's the important thing. If you don't do that upfront way of kind of defining who you are, defining what you're about, defining who your customer is, then you're making it harder every time you go to AI. Once you have that framework, you're just going to cut and paste it into AI and make your request, and you will get the language. Obviously, you need to kind of review it and make sure it hits your guidelines, but that framework allows you to kind of double up or actually 10x the language and the content that you were creating previously. So it is really critical. I like to put AI into everything. I think it's a no-brainer. I think while it's here, we may have some guidelines that descend on us that we have to start following, but using it in everything that we do, I think is important to encourage a marketing team to bring their best ideas and to try and start putting a process in place. This is where we use AI. This is how we use it. And this is the process that we're following. So actually being quite clear and documented, because and I've been around for a while, there have been a lot of new platforms and new solutions, and they can go haywire pretty quickly. So AI is definitely a good example of that. I think be deliberate, be inclusive, allow everybody in your organization to start using it, but just make sure that there are some guardrails there so that we're all talking about how we're using it. We're sharing our ideas. We're making sure that everybody is checking in to say, I'm using it for this. That's okay, right? So that we don't kind of go off the rails quickly. But, as far as marketing is concerned, AI should make your team significantly more effective and efficient. But using it in the right way, using it carefully, obviously, I think improves the results that you can get for sure.